Good morning, guys. Man, I'm looking rough this morning. Whew. Time to shave. Um, so here's the intro. I'm at the same beach as yesterday where I found a gold ring and neck charm. I didn't make it 30 yards. My original goal was to go right there. That's the dip weed line, wash up weed line that I found a whole bunch of targets at. I'm gonna get there today, and then I think what I'm gonna do is maybe speed it up, not pick as much. I'm not gonna pick maybe some of the what I think is bottle caps. I'm running the original function at 4. I think I'm gonna turn it on to the FE2 9 and see how that works for the bottle caps. I brought a pile of rings. So I want to do, and can you even imagine if I want to do some sort of informational video? That's probably going to have to be a video in itself. I want to do laying stuff on the sand and putting bottle caps next to it and see what they sound like, see if they sound similar, see if which function works better, that kind of thing. I'd like to bring some of this sand home, so I think what I'll do one day is bring a 5-gallon bucket and start bringing some home, because I want to do some tests at home, buried tests at home. I'll get back with you. Let me switch this around. I started this morning right where I left off, went down one loop up, one loop around, so I'm almost through my second loop. You can see how packed and smooth that is. Somebody had their blanket here. If you guys aren't circling around these blankets, yeah, you're missing out, let me tell you. So imagine they had something on the blanket and it fell off to the side, because it's not going to fall on the blanket, right? They're going to be able to pick it up off their own blanket. So it's going to be off the edge. You can see where people's feet are, where the action is. Here, look. That's a deep quarter. Look, it says 4 scoops. So I'll get it. I'll come back. All right, I had all intentions on doing like a 5 scoop deep for that quarter, but that's the first pile, that's the second pile, and then I decided I better wait before I went ahead and went a lot. Look at that weird stuff. That's kind of interesting. So what I will do is pinpoint that with you guys. I have no idea what that is. Maybe a vape, or if it's a quarter, it's touching the quarter wrong. It's a quarter. Really? See, guys, that's weird. I mean, maybe it was up sideways and it was touching the side of the quarter, but strange. I feel obligated to show you guys this stuff. So see the negative as you pull back? That was the old method of figuring out that it was a bottle cap. Look, I can almost pinpoint a 10, 11, and then there's a negative grunt there. So realistically, that could be like a bottle cap there and a gold ring there. That's just realistically, right? But watch, the new function. There's the new function. Remember I said leave it at 9 on the new function, and then you can just switch back. I like running this old function at 4, that way we pick up more of the fairest targets. This way you can just go boom, and now listen to this thing. You can't hear it, but it's all grunting negative crap. We're gonna dig it. I could most likely just stab a pinpointer in that, but right. Yeah. Do I even have to flip that over? So I knew that was a bottle cap, and if you're just shooting gold rings, we could just leave it. That's the problem with these machines nowadays. They just need 2 tones. No, they need 1 tone. Like a 1-tone deep metal target. Lets you know there's metal there. Sorry, Equinox users. This right here, this little piece of can slaw is a number 1. Just dug it right there. You've got to dig 1,000 of those. 1,000 of those to dig a gold chain. I think I'm at about, I don't know, 990 from my last gold chain. So I think I'm close to digging another gold chain. I was gonna leave all the 1s and 3s and 5s today. Just insane. I should just probably shoot 10s through 20s. But then I just saw Robert Ferguson out of California when, I don't know, it's like when one of his more viewed videos where he's just shooting gold. He's got like a 3-foot, 3-foot fallout on a beach where he's giggling. He's got to leave quarters and dimes and he's just shooting 13s. And then after all the 13s were gone, he turned around and then was just, all right, I'll pick this 2021 up. And it was a 2021 18 karat fat 4 sapphire giant chunker ring. So that's why I always pick up the 2021 pennies. You're gonna have to pick up I'm sure it's way more than 1,000 pennies before you get to a giant chunker ring that's reading off at 2021 18 karat, 20 gram or something like that. But I think I'm more like at 9,000 of these, but that's okay. Keep digging those. You'll get some rings. Some chains. So I don't know if that's good or bad. I just had that number 1, number 3 can slaw in my hand. And look at this, guys. Is that good or bad? Does that mean that I need to go home for the day? What does that mean? Can you guys see that? And it's not what you'd think. Look. Is that like a cap? A pen cap? Am I seeing that right? I don't know. That's kind of cool, but watch. And I just stabbed it with a pinpointer. I have no idea what it is. I definitely see some screw thread on it. I have no idea. I had a friend, Krusty Clad. He's out of Texas. He commented on one of my videos. He said, miss an inch, miss a mile. And metal detecting, guys, it really is, because if your coil doesn't read it, it doesn't matter, right? So here's my up and downs. I drag a little bit of a space because I have a little bit of an overlap this way. So here's my backup, right? So there's where I'm dragging my shovel and my swing is coming this way. So I have about a 6-foot accurate swing, but about an 8-foot long overlap swing that I usually use. Look at the signal. Okay. Now let me just turn. So there's where I'm dragging my shovel. Look. So technically, there's my normal swing. I mean, that's just my normal. Technically, look, miss an inch, miss a mile. That's a dime. I'll bring you back with what it is. I don't want to just do a lot of digs on target and waste your time today, but that's a great tip right there. Don't be scared of following behind somebody. Maybe not if they just grit it off the beach like this, because then you're gonna have few targets, right? But if you just see some guy did some long tracks or some girl just did some long tracks, don't be scared of just cross gridding them, because I'm giving you an example, and especially in the water. If you see somebody go through, in the waist deep water and that's what you wanted to hunt today, hunt right behind them. And then you follow them down on the beach and show them the 2 rings that they missed. Just to jab it right in their side to show them that they missed by an inch, they missed by a mile. See you guys later. There it is. I love these pennies. 75, I think it says, but I love it. They're so cool and clean. Another one. I bet I could do a video of just 3-second reveals and make it 20 minutes long. Check it out. Some millennial's nose ring. Just kidding. Sounded crazy though. I love going over stuff that is like this because it goes blah, 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 blah. I love it. There you go. Saving people's feet one target at a time. I cannot even imagine. Listen guys, not only do you have to have a tetanus shot when you step on this, you have to go to the hospital and remove that 1/4 inch or whatever stays in your foot and have them, oh my goodness, you know the cut they've got to make to get that out of there. And then, oh my goodness, the follow-up infection, just, think of catching that in your foot. Just nasty. It's like a half hour, 45 minutes from low tide, and look at how low it is. And the waves are just like non-existent. Why I'm not in the water, I haven't a clue. I mean, I like doing these videos for you guys is what it is. I like putting out, I want to put out content, show you how to do things, but how you do things is you're in water during days you can get in water, because that's where I find 90% of my valuables. You know, that you don't lose something on the beach and not recover it. I mean, if I lost anything on the beach, I know that all we got to do is call. There's free ring finder services and stuff like that. So, you know, maybe if you're panicked for time and you're on vacation and you can't wait for a ring finder, but, or if it's just a couple $100 item, that's why you guys don't find, you know, a $20,000 band in the sand. Because, you know, somebody calls a ring finder and they're like, where's it at? And their lady's like, I don't know. I know I was in this area. Well, ring finders are like, yeah, Bill, Bob, Joe, Joanne, Jenny, you know, everybody come on out. And they'll have 6 people gridding, and they're gonna find your stuff. 90% of the time, the ring finders are just amazing, amazing recovery specialists. I mean, they asked me to join the group. I can't afford to right now. You know, I can't afford to go somewhere and give back my you know, they take 75% of what the tip is. So you got to be an honest person. You know, somebody gives you $200, you got to say, hey, they gave me $200, and then they'll give you $50 back. That's barely enough for your gas. I don't know. It's just, the ring finders are definitely putting a hurting on the ability to find stuff in the white sand. All right, I just told you guys it was like a half hour till low tide. I'm the whole way down this line right here. I'm coming down this line that I'm in the 4th, 5th line, whatever I'm at. 4th line on the way down. And I just said how calm it was. And the whole way down, I'm convincing myself, okay, I don't have my headphones. They're all the way back in the truck. The Bluetooth, this loses its Bluetooth when you submerge. And I'm convincing myself, listen, I'm like, okay, the sandbar between the low tide and the sandbar is only 1.5 feet, 2 feet deep, right? So now I'm convincing myself. I'm like, well, I can keep my phone in my pocket. You know, I'm like, I'm not even gonna get my pants wet hardly. And now look what happened. So just recently I've had a few events happen that really make me believe in some sort of higher power, right? I wasn't raised in a church place, or a church family. But I've saved, if I hadn't been in a couple spots in my life, some people would have lost their life. So I've saved a couple lives just by inadvertently being there. The whole way down here, I'm convincing myself I'm gonna go in here. It was smooth, glass smooth when I just did that video. It was 3 minutes ago when I did that. I was right there. So this right here is a sign. Look at the waves starting to pick up big time. The wind's starting to pick up out of the south. It's a sign that I've been getting my whole life. I just never realized the signs, guys. I just never realized that I was supposed to be at a certain place. Something was supposed to happen for this whole circle of life, for me to be telling you this story right here on camera today. A little, what's that, like grenade earring, grenade chain, look at the signal. 1011 jewelry. I think it was impossible to find. You never find that without a pinpointer, and then if you do, you leave it because it looks like that right there, a little crusty or whatever. So 14, 15, and you see the negative, but look, if I come over here, I can pinpoint this negative right there, thump 9999. But if I move over here, $14 right on the surface. So that's going to be a pull tab 90% of the time. But if you were to think that it was a bottle cap or something, you know, iron, because of the thump that you caught from a wider swing, the 9 that's over here, right? So I don't know, you should be digging everything anyway. I know that that's going to be in there. Bottle cap crushed. You need to dig that though, guys. Watch this signal. -5, -4, 29, 33, 27, 21. When in doubt, dig it. Pinpointing a 32. Any guesses, guys? I mean, seriously, give me some guesses at the bottom. I have no idea if it's that deep, but I don't want to miss it. That's what I would have guessed. Now it's coming out as an old copper penny, the 25 number that always I get when it's copper penny. I would have guessed a dime because of the chirping to the 30s. But I had a old Lincoln chirp to the 30s the other day. 25, 26, now I'm guessing a dime. I see guys do reveals like this. And then who does that? I don't know, that's gonna drive you and me both crazy, so let's do this. Yeah, man, I'm getting good at this machine. 1980. I'm really getting good with this machine, guys. That just hurt my toe. I went in and the point of the shovel hit it, and it, oh man, did that just hurt my toe. Look at, it was just so large I had to dig it. It was all negative. But I was at the beach the other day and a guy was asking me some questions about my machine. And he said, so it'll pick up my Rolex? And I'm like, yeah, of course, it's a metal detector. And he clicks his Rolex off and runs it in front of the coil. And guys, you know how many signals that it sounded like a Rolex that I've left in the past before I knew about this machine? That I can't even describe to the grunts that the Rolex made. Yeah, there's a lot of high chirps from some of the better metals and golds in the workings, but listen, it made it sound like the worst of bottle caps. So I can imagine the thought of you leaving a Rolex on the beach because you thought it was a bottle cap. So that's all I'm getting at. You know, if you want to increase your finds, start increasing your digs. That's just the #1 rule for the day. But I dug that because there was another signal. Here, let's see if I can get that out of the way. I'll pick that up. The thing's gonna weigh 6 pounds. I knew there was a clean signal next to it. So I wanted, you know, because I couldn't, it was so large, it was interfering the whole area. So I wanted to dig it anyway. Bead of some sort. Could be a jewelry bead of some sort, I'm not sure. You know, I like these signals. It's right on the surface, it's going. Let's see if it's right on the surface truly. No, sir. I was gonna say, if it is, it's small. These things, guys, will drive you nuts with the Equinox. They sound like a gold ring. Pieces of rivet, pieces of a push through on a chair. Ah. I just saw like an ad today that, I think it's a YouTube channel, that said there's a $17 million diamond production or something, I don't know. Makes me wonder. You know, makes me really wonder. Yesterday's ring was a 10 and this is right on the surface. 10, that would just be just an unbelievable wrap up before I get to that hard grunt work right there. I'm gonna go ahead and dig that pin pointer. Sound right at the top. Oh, figures. 999 more to go for another ring. Hey guys, so I was watching Aqua Chigger the other day, and he was doing an old farmhouse or something. It was a war site, and he was following the grunts. And he said when the grunts, he was going through a field, and he said when the grunts start becoming tighter together, you know you're getting closer to, you know, more activity. And I would say the same thing for the beach. So you start hearing more grunts. Just more signals in general, you know, stuff starts collecting. And I looped down right there, and I heard some grunts, and it just had me come back up to here, and I got lucky swinging the coil out. So I'm guessing it's going to be one of those round pull tabs. That's just my guess, right? Oh, it's definitely more compact, and you can see like clay. Uh-oh. Sounds weird. Somebody smoking some weed. I can smell it from here. Strong ass wind. Well, there you go, guys. Cool. Look at that. Is that jewelry? It is jewelry. Oh, I'm gonna leave with that today, guys. No, I'm not. I gotta stay right here. Remember I said where the jewelry collects? How cool is that? Guys, that is so cool. That doesn't make you smile. Look at the moon smiling. Man. If you guys, maybe I should create a Patreon account and tell my masterclass secrets on the Patreon, and you guys pay me an extra $5 a month or $10 a month to be on my Patreon. Or what I'll do is, if you guys start commenting and asking questions like you do and have been, I'll just continue to answer privately. Maybe, you know, I can't imagine having, you know, 100,000 followers and then having 1,000 comments and people asking questions. I'm sure it gets out of control. But this right here, remember I said don't be scared about plugging a hole, putting a hole down. You can clearly see the gray. And you saw how hard it was for me to pull that up. So anything that washed down from the beach is right on this line. And geez, I think, I don't know, every one of my videos, I think I tell you about where the jewelry collection line is. If it's light enough, it washes here. If it's light enough, it washes here. You better believe there's a ring sitting here too. And the sad part is, I gotta go. So what I was gonna say, what I'll do is, well, you can see target, 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 target. You know, even though I did have a target down there, and I need to just stay right here. Wow, very cool. Well, at least you get to see what it is for. Krusty Clad out of Texas, he wanted to know what I meant by pull, and he's got a Modus hand grip to pull up, and he says he's broken that a couple times. I meant pull like this, you know, when you're like, I can snap this stick right off just because I want to be able to just pull it up and out. And he said he had some really packy sand, which he did in his last video if you guys watch, and he has to kind of bounce it and then pull it up out. But I'm a beast. I want to just be able to go, you know, just pull it up and out. And that's what I mean is, that's the kind of the question that I had for that Triton handle out of Extreme Scoops. You know, if I yank on that and break the handle, I know they got a 10-year warranty, but is it considered, you know, normal use if I yank on it and break it? And if you guys ever want me testing a product, oh, looky there, guys. Are you paying attention to this? Are you watching this as I'm talking? Look it. Guys. Whoop, 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 whoop. Let me bust this off. Look at that bling in the scoop. It wasn't in the scoop, I kicked it. And it's got a nice sterling post. How cute and beautiful, guys. Oh man, where should I have been all day long? Up and down in this. Oh well, I'm very blessed. I'm blessed to be able to give you guys these lessons for real, right? So it's funny, I knew that was a good target. Anyway, I guess that was about me asking about the scoop. You know, I've broken 3 different shovels, and you're not breaking these T-Rexes. And from what I understand, the new, you know, the new Extreme Scoops out of Texas, you're not breaking those either, the scoop part. But the handle's my question. I snapped these right off. I mean, these hickory sticks, I've snapped them right off. I mean, brand new sticks I've snapped. And it's just because I don't want to wait. You know, you put it in, you want to just be able to pull it back up out, not have to wait for the sand to, you know, release. So that's kind of my question, Krusty. I know you said I could send him an email. I'm so busy right now that I tell you what, I'll send him an email when I snap this. Okay, super fast wrap up. Just north of 185 targets. Look at these guys. Each one of those is a target. Just north of 185 targets. It was like 120, 130 there, and then almost another 50. So, wow. I should have been in the, you know, the wet sand the whole day. When I started finding these, obviously, I've given you guys the lessons in the past about where to find jewelry. It's right where I found, you know, jewelry. So instead of giving you the white sand hey, I know where there's another ring. I should have been here collecting jewelry and probably finding another ring in the wet sand. When opportunity opens, you guys should jump on it. This thing is called a Cotter key. You know, it came to me instantly. I'm like, man, and my brain is just fried from doing so many hours. It says it does appear that I'm not connected to the internet. Okay. Well, okay, keep trying your cellular data. Oh my goodness, that had to happen while I'm doing a video. Seriously guys, the complications of trying to use your phone. I don't know if I'd be doing this wrap up on a GoPro anyway. So this is heavy, I had to dig it. It was a large target on the beach. Yeah, that's just a wrap up of a lot of white sand. I met a nice couple, another nice lady and her daughter. This isn't all about metal detecting for me. It's more about you guys in the channel. So please share. Don't just subscribe and say thank you, Derek, because I'm giving you some serious tips. Like I said about the Patreon thing, I should have, you know, some extra tips in places that you guys like secret spots. So I love you. Please subscribe. Later.